we are just destined to preserve our biology or be like selfish biologically.
Yeah.
And if I'm selfish biologically and it makes the world better, then it's even better.
For example, that statement has been debated a lot lately. Are you familiar with these studies regarding microbiome and the second brain and what is going on in our gut?
This one, no.
Okay, so there's a lot of studies recently about the way you eat, you produce bacteria in your gut,
Yes.
and then your gut bacteria produces neurotransmitters,
The impact of food on your life.
the impact of food in your life, but I don't want to not elaborate on it because I think the implications are slightly more complicated than we understand. And this is kind of new shit. It's been going around for the last 2 decades probably. But it's this notion that we are more materially determined than we used to believe. People that study neurology, they're coming up to the conclusions that, for example, the decisions in your mind, they are taken before rationality. Okay. So you already know what you're going to do before you did it, right? And in that sense, it's because of the way your gut is able to produce neurotransmitters, and then those neurotransmitters enable you to feel different things. So in a way, if
Interesting,
oversimplifying,
Got it.
if you don't eat properly, you cannot be happy.
Yeah, I've heard that statement. I actually believe in that.
I'm trying to figure out how you make those statements compatible. Like what is hard for me is people to say that, okay, distribution is not a problem, inequality is not a problem, we're going better, we're doing better. Like the way the conditions of our current society are not wrong, even though we know for a fact they impact an ability of a person to choose right versus wrong, or to make a proper choice with their lives versus not making a proper choice with their lives. We know that for a fact now, but we are trying to build stories upon it to justify it and naturalize it. And I want to denaturalize those statements. I want to believe that in a way we are progressing in science, in knowledge, and we're learning new things, and we have to take those new things into account and rethink about the way we used to explain reality. Because reality is still happening, but the tools we have to explain reality are new. So our responsibility, especially as communicators, is to actualize with new tools the way we explain how material reality works.
How is this connected to the ruling class of Europe?
Exactly. You see, for example, because people will say the genetic argument, like you said, no, we are genetically determined. You said we're genetically determined to be egoistical. We're genetically determined to do some things, because then the geneticist argument will help you justify why those things are natural, and they will, in a way, will lower the volume or take the attention away from the fact that they were holding hostage some aspects of reality, politics, and economics, using power to perpetuate power and then produce conditions that allow them, their kids, their grandsons, and the next 100 generations to stay in power, because they were using the position of power to stay in power. Not because they were genetically determined to be superior to the rest, but because since they were born in power and they have access to power, they were able to perpetuate in power.
This feels like apples and oranges.
Why?
I'm just sharing my thoughts.
You don't think they're connected?
With no filters here. Yeah, I'm really being honest here, right?
That's fine.
For me, I'm having a hard time.
I know, I understand.
Making that jump. And now there's two options here. Either you're a genius and I'm a fucking dumbass, or something is not working.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm not the first guy to have done this assumption.
No.
I wouldn't even blame this on myself.